Hey everybody, it's weekly rotation video time again. Today I'm in a different room. I've got some stuff going on in my regular recording space. That's my wardrobe. And so I'm going to quickly go through these. Haven't had a very eventful week perfume wise. A couple of things have happened. There's a new bottle here and worn a couple of things that I haven't worn for a while. Let's start off with Monday. On Monday, I went back to a decant to travel spray of Sancti from Liquide Imaginaire. This is, when I first smelled this, I was very impressed by the opening. This is a very bright, almost citrusy frankincense that I get from this one. And I'll talk a little bit more about this later on in the video. Anyone who likes frankincense, I recommend that you try it, but there is an issue, I guess, with putting all the work into an opening and then falling over when it starts to dry down with this one, which I'll elaborate a little bit more on later on. Then later that afternoon on the Monday, we are still having reasonably, well, up until last week, we're having reasonably mild weather for winter here. As you can tell by the way I'm dressed, it is winter now. And I got to wear Azimor Les Orangers from Parfum d'Empire one last time probably until summer comes along again. On Tuesday, I started off the day with Les Trois Simons, Third Man by Caron. Then I wore a sample from the house of Violet, Violet Paris. This one is called Sketch, and I had a few samples sent to me some time ago. And Sketch, when I was doing first impressions on some of them, Sketch was one that caught my attention. Wearing it on Tuesday, I did note that I enjoyed it, but I did note it was an unusual combination, or at least a combination of notes that I had not come across too much before, and they were mainly vanilla and tuberose as well. And I thought that was a really interesting combo that kind of worked on my skin. So it has taken me a little bit by surprise by how interesting it was. So that one is going to get more testing, and hopefully eventually I will do a review. So moving on to Wednesday, started the morning off with one of my favorite ambers, Ombre Russe by Parfum d'Empire. That's two from that house, that brand for the week. And I wore in the afternoon my decant of Eau d'Hermès by Hermès. But while I'm talking about that, here's a good segue into me showing you my latest bottle. I got on an email list. I got a discount voucher. This online retailer here in Australia was doing a sale, and I could not pass up the opportunity to get myself a bottle of Eau d'Hermès for quite considerably cheaper than what I would have had to have paid for retail. Now, what I will say on preliminary observation is that this is the current packaging that Eau d'Hermès comes from. The decant that I have been wearing over the last year is from the bottle that looks like the one on your screen right now. And there are some slight differences that I detect on my nose. I think this one has more pronounced citruses in the opening, just to my nose. There's no real difference in terms of performance, longevity, but I can smell the difference. And I have mentioned this before, I actually prefer how this current version smells, which is good for me because I have much more of this one than the old one. So that's a new bottle that I've acquired this week. That's Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday, we have a morning of Lagerfeld Classic by Lagerfeld. I've spoken about this one before. And then I'm nearly at the end of my travel spray of Ormond Jane, Ormond Woman. I always enjoy this. One of my favorite green perfumes. I have several, but this is one of my favorites. However, considering that I've probably down to my last couple of mil, I don't think straight away I would be chasing any more of this or getting a bottle. I know in the past I probably said I would, but I might miss this more when the weather starts warming up, because it does bloom in the summer. So, I will reconsider when it gets warm again. But I'm about to empty that travel spray of Almond Woman, and I've thoroughly enjoyed every wear of it. We're moving on to Friday now. Yes, Friday. And I went with Spice and Woody Spice. Egoist by Chanel. Love it, obviously. And then my bottle of Dappled Sunlight, which is Épice by Misque au Parfum. It was that kind of day. It was actually not bad weather, and they were very bright, very uplifting mood kind of perfumes. It's more so the Épice than the Egoist, but I always really love wearing Egoist. Yesterday, being Saturday, I went with Fougère, and I only went the one yesterday because this lasts on my skin the whole day. So once I've sprayed this on, I'm always smelling it all day, and I don't need to reapply anything new. That is Sartorial by Penhaligon's. I have not actually worn this for, I think when I checked, I probably had not worn this since March. So it's been a few months without wearing this. And as always, I love it, enjoy it, and, probably should wear it more often. Today, I have sprayed on Le Lion by Chanel as my morning scent, but I've been looking forward to this moment because I get to wear my partial bottle of Maginois by Lancôme, which was a special gift for my birthday a few months ago, and now I'm going to smell magnificent. Oh, this is so good, so good. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I've got to give you my highlights and lowlights. My highlights, apart from Maginois, I really enjoyed Azimor de Les Orangers way back on Monday. The reason being was that I actually had this in my bag walking home from my train. The sun was kind of low in the sky. There was a whole vibe going on. There was a whole vibe. And I decided to take this out of my bag, spritz some on, and all of a sudden my mood just changed and was feeling great. Everything just kind of synced at that moment. So it was really, really nice experience wearing Azimor Les Orangers. My low light, well, I guess, it's not really a low light, but I was slightly disappointed wearing Sancti by Liquide Imaginaire. More so the fact that the first few times I've tried this, I've been really, really kind of very impressed by this frankincense note, this opening, really. However, this is the first time that I did notice that after the first half hour or so, it kind of falls apart composition-wise. It stops, it loses any of its impact from that opening and sort of dries down into sort of this kind of stock standard, boring designer base. I don't mean to use that in a pejorative way, but a very generic kind of base. All the attention, it seems to me, was in the opening. Again, if you like frankincense, it's worth smelling, but the overall wear of this sort of ended up being a bit disappointing. So yeah, that's it. That was my highlight and low light for the week. I hope you've all had a great week. Let me know what you've been wearing, and I will see you soon for the next video. Okay, bye.